can see me all right and hear me all right. We are outside. We're doing this live stream outside of the Glenvirw Public Library. This was a last minute trip. I didn't plan on taking it actually. But yesterday I was in Detroit, Michigan, watching AEW professional wrestling at the Detroit Masonic Temple, which was incredible. It was incredible to see what was an absolutely amazing show, as well as just the setup, everything they did to turn the Detroit Masonic Temple Theater into a venue that could hold, a world-class professional wrestling production. It was incredible. So I was there last night, and then I got invited to a third degree happening here in Chicago, Illinois. So took an all-night bus, came here, going to do that, then take an all-night bus back tonight. So very little sleep. But I figured, you know what, let's try to do some live streams. Let's see who jumps on to say hello. I do these streams every Monday through Friday. I try to do these at 1 p.m. Eastern in order to talk about Freemasonry. Today, this is kind of a weird angle. I'm trying to figure out how to do this right. I'm not where I'm used to being. So let me see if I can go like this so it's a little bit more centered. All right, I kind of like that. All right. Live streaming, talking about Freemasonry. I do these streams normally Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, due to a whole bunch of fun stuff that I'll talk about later, I had to push it back until, I guess it would be about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But these Friday streams are the Ask Us Anything streams. So anything you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry, let me know. Howdy from Texas, Midland Centennial Lodge, number 1448. Howdy. It's wonderful to have a brother from Texas join the stream. I hope, Silver Oilman, you'll be kind enough to hit the like and subscribe button. I've been a Mason since 2007 in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, but I've traveled around a lot, including I've been lucky enough to visit several Masonic lodges in Texas, all in like the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as Gonzales, Texas. And I've interviewed a few Texas Masons. So it's wonderful to have you, Silver Oilman. Thank you for joining us. Anything you want to talk when it comes to Freemasonry, let me know. Any thoughts you have, any comments, ideas, maybe you have questions about Canadian Freemasonry, which I can try to fill in. William Hall and Gryffindor, welcome to both of you. I hope you'll be so kind as to hit the like and subscribe button. It's wonderful to have some more people joining us. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I can also, Silver Oilman, tell you about Freemasonry in Illinois, where I've been lucky enough to spend a lot of time. Freemasonry Manitoba, I'd love to talk to you guys some more about that. So let me know what it is that you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry. I will say, though, I love Texas. I love Texas Freemasonry. My favorite part of Texas Freemasonry, to be honest, is the Texas Masonic Retirement Community. What an absolutely amazing location. An absolutely one-of-a-kind spot and a real jewel in Texas Freemasonry as well as Freemasonry the world over. Gryffindor 8 wants me to say Sigma. I'm not sure why. Is that like a Sigma male thing? Which I don't even know what that means, but I've heard people use the term Sigma male to describe different people, so I don't get it myself. Been to BC for nearly a year now. Okay. I have unfortunately never had the chance to visit any Masonic lodges in BC. Let me know what you found, maybe the differences between being a Mason in BC versus Texas. Have you had a chance to visit any lodges in BC? Canada usually uses emulation ritual, or kind of, sometimes it's called Scottish ritual, whereas in the States it's Preston Webb. Certainly in Texas it's Preston Webb. So let me know what that's been like for you. This is the Friday Ask Us Anything stream, Ask Us Anything chat. So Gryffindor, William Hall, if you guys have any questions about Freemasonry, I'd love to hear them. I will do my best to try to answer them. I hope that you are having an excellent day. Well, I'm not just going to keep saying stuff that people suggest. First, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Then I will say whatever it is that I don't even think I could pronounce that and say it well. But let's get a few more likes, a few more subscriptions, and then I'll look at saying it. By the way, I have had an incredible time today in Glenvirw. Took the all-night bus, got in this morning. Went to Core Power Yoga, which is one of my favorite yoga studios. Had some hot yoga. Nearly killed me because I was tired and full of coffee, but it was still a lot of fun. Then I went to Friends of Downtown Glenview. Even though I don't live here, I consider myself a friend of Downtown Glenview, and I love this city so much. The Masons here, as well as the town, I want to check it out. Most lodges here are Canadian Ritual. I've been to Emulation, Ancient, and their One Australian Ritual Lodge. The best part is all the masonry has the same foundation. Biggest difference is the wording. I agree with that, Silver Oilman, 100%. I love the fact that Freemasonry has has the same foundation, but then it's individualized to different jurisdictions. Because that's what makes it so much fun, right? One of the most amazing and fun parts about visitation and travel is the fact that, I can go to Texas, I can go to Illinois, I can go to BC, Manitoba, and know that wherever I'm visiting ultimately has the same foundation, but still appreciate the difference and unique character in each lodge, right? That's a really special thing. It's one of the things I'm always recommending to brothers is travel as much as you can, because you will learn so much more about Freemasonry. You will learn so much more about what you love about Freemasonry, and you'll get so many new perspectives on Freemasonry. So, to any Masons out there watching, my advice, being a Mason myself since 2007, is travel. Travel as much as you can, as often as you can. Obviously, when you're traveling, pay attention to things like recognition, what is a recognized lodge, what isn't a recognized lodge, but the most important thing is just to take the time to travel. Because if you're not doing that, you are missing out. I always say one of the most important things you can do for Freemasonry is support your mother lodge, but one of the most important things you can do for your own Masonic journey is to travel. By the way, Silver Orma, let me know how you came across our stream. Were you already subscribed and hit the like button, or have you just discovered this now? Do you follow us on social media anywhere? Let me know in the chat how you found us. Same thing, William Hall. I'd love to know how you found me. Recommended by YouTube. How did it pop up? And thank you so much for joining. I was also going to mention this is Mother's Day weekend, so I will be posting the interview I did, or a portion of the interview I did with my mom. She's passed away now. Wonderful. Thank you so much. To talk about, because my dad's a Mason, so to talk about the wife/mother perspective of Freemasonry and how and why it is a really important part. We shouldn't forget about, wives and mothers in Freemasonry, how important they are to the Masonic experience. And we really couldn't do it without them, So that will be posted on Monday. That'll be posted on Saturday, I do believe. I'm going to be posting some more images and pictures from my trip, from my visitation to the lodges this evening. I am cool. Just me being here is cool. Me talking about Freemasonry is cool. That has to be sufficient, right? Just my face is cool, William Hall. I was thinking, Silver, let me know if you have a record for number of lodges you visited in a night, because there are 3 lodges meeting. Each meeting is taking place like about 20 minutes from one another. So I'm trying to figure out if I can maybe make all three here in Illinois. First Glenvirw, then Skokie, then Chicago itself. Thank you, Quantum. I am cool as heck. I appreciate that. You know, by the way, if you think I'm cool, let me know by hitting the like and subscribe button and the 100 reaction. Nice. Which lodge in Tennessee? I've been to some lodges in Tennessee, mostly in Nashville. But I also got to visit a lodge in a small town just outside of Nashville, which was so awesome. I loved that visitation. I have really, really fond memories of. I can't even think of the name now of the town. It was featured in a Matt Stell video, Home in a Hometown. So I don't have my computer with me, so I can't look it up when I'm live streaming. June 2nd, oh, just two. One in the morning, one in the evening. All right, so can I defeat Silver Oilman's record and do 3? Was it in... Do you mind me asking, William, where it was located? What part of Tennessee? I will say, for any Masons and non-Masons out there, if you get the chance, check out the Grand Lodge of Tennessee, located in Nashville, just off the main strip. It is an incredible building. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so Nashville. Okay, so you were at the same building I was, that giant Masonic building. I've taken some pictures of it. I put them on my Instagram accounts. It's nothing but respect, nothing but credit to the Grand Lodge of Tennessee for a beautiful and a beautifully maintained, which is a big deal, Masonic building. What was the most beautiful lodge room you visited? Whew, that's a question. Oh my gosh. If I were to just go off of aesthetics and not any type of emotional attachment, I would have to say Philadelphia Masonic Temple. A few of those lodge rooms in Philadelphia were absolutely incredible. Philadelphia itself as a building is beautiful. Detroit has some incredible ones as well. But to me, the most beautiful lodge room is always going to be the Windsor Masonic Temple Blue Room, because that is where I became a Freemason. So, but you know, every Masonic building and lodge has its own character and has its own really fascinating, I've been to these grand Masonic buildings that were built in the 1920s during the Masonic boom period and seen just these giant structures, beautiful facades, beautiful interiors. And then I've been to Masonic buildings that are old farmhouses where it's basically one room, that's a lodge room, and then off to the side is a small kitchenette area, and then maybe a washroom, if not an outhouse. Those are beautiful too, you know? They all have their absolutely beautiful character. That's why I created an Instagram account to celebrate these buildings. Silver Oilman, I'm going to... Again, I don't have my computer here, so I can't... if you could get in touch with me, the way to do it is info, I-N-F-O, at squareandcompass.ca. So it's info, I-N-F-O, at squareandcompass.ca. All one word, SQUAREANDCOMPASS.ca. I will send you links to my Instagram accounts, because I have 3 Instagram accounts, but one of them is Masonic Buildings, which is all Masonic building facades, and the other is Masonic Building Interiors, which is all Masonic lodge rooms. And that's true for everybody watching this. If you want to get in touch with me, info, I-N-F-O, at squareandcompass.ca. What about you, Silver Oilman? What is the most beautiful lodge room you've ever visited? Same thing, I'd love to know. And William, what did you think of your visit to Nashville? What did you think of the building? Are you a Mason yourself, or were you just visiting as a tourist, or somebody interested in architecture or history or just Freemasonry? And as always, to everybody watching, please take a moment, if you're just joining us, to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, jump in the chat, let me know how you're doing. Once again, I can't believe I get to be back here in this beautiful spot. What an absolutely beautiful day it is as well. And I get to make it to maybe 2 or maybe 3 Masonic Lodge meetings tonight. Certainly I want to get to the 3rd degree that's happening at the Jefferson Park Masonic building. That's the top of my list to get to. Because I love American 3rd degrees. They are really, really special. And who needs sleep, you know? Took an all-night bus to get here, take an all-night bus to get back. Nothing's wrong with that. It's fun. But this is, as I was saying, the Ask Me, Ask Us Anything stream. So, basically anything you want to talk about. The Blue Room at Vancouver Masonic Center, fairly ornate, but a smaller size, so it feels more intimate. I wish I could have seen it, but maybe I'll get the chance. I'd love to visit Vancouver. I consider myself a professional traveler. Sadly, I've never made it to any Vancouver Masonic buildings yet, so that'll be... I feel like this is such a weird angle. You're just staring up at me. Let me go back like this. Oof, there we go. I'm not at my normal setup. I'm outside, as we can see, so trying to get the camera angles right. Although I feel like it's a pretty good shot. How do I look? How do I sound? All those questions. I hope, I believe it was a few years ago, there were 3 Masonic buildings in Vancouver that were the victim of arson attacks. I hope Vancouver Masonic Center wasn't one of them, and if it was, I hope it's managed to get itself fixed up. We are talking a lot about security for our Masonic brothers and for our Masonic buildings as well, both of which are very important. And welcome to everybody who may be joining us. Please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how I look, let me know how I sound. I'm doing this outside of the Glenvirw Public Library because I took a last-minute trip to check out a 3rd degree to visit some of my brothers in Skokie as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a really great night. Again, being from Canada, any chance to see an American 3rd degree, I am definitely going to try my best to take advantage of it. Because unfortunately, I don't get to... I mean, although, in fairness, from Windsor, I do get to visit Detroit fairly regularly, and I have gotten to witness degrees in Detroit. I'm lucky in that way. Cross-border travel, Canada, U.S. In Detroit, it's very close between the Windsor Masonic Temple and the Detroit Masonic. I think they're less than like 5 kilometers apart, the 2 buildings. I don't know all the details, but some lodges moved into the New Westminster building. Also beautiful, but many artifacts and records were lost. Well, Silver, I have been talking a lot to Masonic buildings about the importance of digitizing their records for just such a situation. It doesn't have to be, you know, on purpose destruction. It can be flooding or accidental fire or arson or rodents or whatever it is. You know, if anything happens to those records, they're lost forever. And obviously you want the original records for the historical value of the object itself, the paper or the book. But the second best thing is to have the information saved. So I'm really encouraging more Masonic buildings and lodges to consider digitizing its records and why that's so important. It was incredible. Yes, I am, Rondo, getting that vitamin D3 and loving it. You know, I brought it up on social media. I don't know if you guys saw it, but, you know, having All Elite Wrestling, the All Elite Wrestling production at the Detroit Masonic Temple meant that, you know, you had thousands of people flooding the Detroit Masonic Temple to watch the show, and millions more either watched it on TV or saw posters or flyers with the word Masonic Temple on them, or shared clips and shared posts on social media Again, mentioning the Masonic Temple. I mean, that to me is so critically important. You know, I think if Freemasonry is going to survive, which I hope it does, it needs to be relevant to the communities in which it's located. And what that means is it needs to be not just relevant to the Masons who visit there or who meet and lodge there, but the community as a whole. They need to have memories of the building and fond memories of the building, whether that's going to see a wrestling show, going to see a theater production, going to, take a test. Like some Masonic buildings are used as staging areas to hold big exam tests for like food inspection, things like that. I mean, the memories are what creates the relevance. It's what makes it important to people. Weddings and, Detroit Masonic Temple, I think, is a key feature of this idea of encouraging relevance. Not just for your membership, but for the community as a whole. So if that makes sense. Yes, and once again, Rondo, it's great to have you here. I am definitely getting that vitamin 3 and loving it back here. One of my favorite places in the world. Glenvirw, Illinois. Last minute trip, but I get to attend maybe 2, maybe 3 Masonic meetings tonight. And I'm very, very much looking forward to it. There's 3 Masonic meetings all happening within 20 minutes of each other. I definitely want to hit up King Oscar Lodge because they have a 3rd degree, and that's going to be really special. But I would love to hit up Morton Grove because that's where some of my best friends from Glenvirw are. My best friend and brothers are. So I think that would be worth checking out as well. But welcome. Everybody who is joining us is doing well. Please take a moment, hit that like button and subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing and let me know what it is that you want to chat about when it comes to Freemasonry. The Friday streams are always the Ask Us Anything streams. So anything you want to talk about, I'd be happy to at least try to answer to the best of my skill and ability. I've been a Mason since 2007. I certainly don't know everything about Freemasonry, but I like to, I like to think that in the last 20 years, I've gathered some knowledge, both in terms of what I think makes a Masonic career successful and what I think Masons can do to help make their lodges and their buildings successful. Or we can shoot the shit about anything else we want to talk about. Once again, these Friday streams are the Ask Us Anything streams. I don't really have any set topics. It's just see who jumps on, see who says hello. If you are new to the stream, I hope you jump in and say hello and let me know what you're interested in learning about. If you're a regular in attendance, it's great to have you back. Please, as always, hit that like button. If you can make it, Lodge Southern Cross number 44 and Prince of Wales Lodge number 100 will hold a joint degree on July 16th at Vancouver Masonic Centre. Southern Cross is Australian work, Prince is emulation. Can you shoot me off an email to remind me and I'll see what I can do. Once again, it's info@squareandcompass.ca. And I'd love to check it out and potentially learn more about the event. Maybe if there's a flyer, I could share it on my socials. I try my best to share what's happening with Masonic events and Masonic meetings on my social media channels. So I'd love to get that. Once again, info@squareandcompass.ca, or you can send me a message through Facebook if you follow me there, any of my social media sites. Do you have a number roughly that you're expecting that you think will show up for the event? Are you helping to organize it all, or are you just spreading the word like a good Mason? Which, nothing wrong with that. Not sure, I'm not a member there. Okay, but you'll just be going to... Still good on you for sharing it. Don't think, and this is a good lesson for any Masons watching this, don't think that if you're not a member, you don't, you can still share what they're up to. Give them some love, show them, give them some love on social media. make sure that they know. Make sure that you take the time to support lodges, even if you're not a member therein or thereof. Welcome if you're just joining us. Hope you hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing. We do these streams every Monday through Friday. Try to start them at 1 p.m. Eastern, but today I was significantly delayed because I am traveling to Glenvirw and I had to take part in a couple meetings. Hence, I'm also doing this outside because, I don't have my normal setup. I'm not at home. I had to find a place with the Wi-Fi I could use. So excuse me. I'm sorry if it's a little bit loud. But these are our Friday streams, which is our Ask Us Anything streams. So anything you want to chat about, any questions you have. As I mentioned, I will be posting an interview I did with my mom for Mother's Day. She's passed away now, but she did an interview where she talked about what Freemasonry meant to her, because we want to make sure we're giving love and respect to the Masonic moms out there. And as always, any questions you guys have, this will probably be a shorter stream because, again, this is the Ask Us Anything stream. We don't set any particular topics. It's more just waiting to see who jumps on to say hello. And if they have any questions as well, I still have to get ready for tonight and for what's going to be a very fun, potentially triple-decker meeting with Glenvirw, Skokie, and King Oscar. It'd be kind of fun to do a stream where I just wheel around and show you all the things I love about Glenvirw, but that would be, first, it's hot out, and second, it would be very, very long stream. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. I mean, she had been very sick, so in some ways it was a blessing because, she was in a lot of pain by the end of it, so I'm happy she's no longer in pain. It was about a year ago, which is crazy to think it was that long ago, to be honest. Or was it about a year? Geez, I don't remember when. A little bit over a year ago, which is crazy to think how long it's been. Time flies. Oh, but you want to always remember again just how important Freemasonry is and can be, not only for the Masons themselves, but for their families, including the wives, the moms, the sisters, right? Freemasonry is a family affair in every sense of the word, both amongst our brothers and amongst our families. So I remember that Skokie club 12 years now. Yeah, I mean, it is a Skokie club, but again, it happens. It's going to be something that we all experience in some ways, hopefully, right? Because the alternative is, we go before our parents. So it's, which would suck in a different. So, it's one of those things. It's just part of life. Everybody kind of goes through it. But I do appreciate it. Having said that, one of the nice things about Freemasonry is you don't have to go through those things alone. Either the sickness, the death, anything like that. At least you have brothers who can go through it with you, or who can be there for you while you're going through it. And thank you, everybody who's joined so far. I truly appreciate it. I hope, as always, you will hit the like. That is true. No one gets out of this alive. So maybe one of the things we should keep in mind is not to take anything too seriously. Since we're not getting out of this thing alive anyways, maybe we should all just relax a little bit, try to enjoy ourselves a little bit more. Tell people we love them a little bit more. It's cliched, but sometimes cliches have, more than a grain of truth to them. I'm debating if maybe what I'll try to do, just to see how it goes, is maybe I will do a live stream of my favorite parts of Glenvirw on maybe one of my other channels. Actually, I have a channel dedicated just to Glenvirw. Maybe I'll see how that goes. Might be kind of fun. But after I got a bit of rest, I think, first. The question is, how do I make it to all 3 meetings? That is the question. I think I would have to take like an Uber. Or, which I don't want to, because it's expensive. Or like a taxi or something. Or a Lyft or whatever it is. Ugh, it would not be cheap is the problem. But maybe I can do it, and if I could get to 3 meetings, that would be a lot of fun. Rhonda will be right back. No worries, take your time. Maybe, though, check in on my other streams, other channels, where I can, like I said, maybe I will do that and do a brief places I love in Glenvirw. I'd also have to, charge my phone again before I do that. Welcome back. Let me know, Rondo, how it's been going for you. If any plans for the weekend? Are you happy summer has returned? All those good questions. And welcome to everybody who is back. As always, please take a moment, hit the like button and subscribe button. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Just going to give it a bit of time, see who else jumps in the chat. I think I'm going to do another live stream later on, so just be prepared for that. Pay attention on social media. My other channel where I talk about Glenvirw particularly is Cameron's Travels to Glenvirw. Might be kind of fun to live stream from that and show off the things I love in this town. The Glenvirw Public Library, Vicino's Pizza, Grandpa's Place, the Dairy Bar. I can't show everything though, but I can show a few things. Maybe even stream live from the Glenvirw Masonic Temple. It's a little gray and rainy where I'm at. Things are fair though. I hope they get sunny. I've been lucked out big time with the weather here, so hopefully it is nice and sunny for you as well, wherever you're at. Or gets nice and sunny for you. And if you're watching this, I hope it is as beautiful a day for you as it is for me here. Yeah, but I'm sure your weather will turn around soon enough, and I'm sure it'll be crummy weather here soon enough, The weatherman always rings twice, as it was. Nice thing about summer is hopefully we'll get some summer Masonic events or outdoor Masonic events. That should be a lot of fun. It is the only job where you can be around 90% of the time. And I can tell you as Masons, when I think about our Masonic buildings, weather plays a big part in it, a big factor. I actually talked a lot a couple of days ago about emergency management. Weather is a big part of that. If the weather's good, if the weather's not good, that 100% affects our ability to maintain our buildings. Rain, leaky roofs, all that fun stuff. If you've ever had a Masonic building, I visited a Masonic building up in Goddard. It was actually, the whole front of it was ripped off by a tornado, and they still managed to rebuild it and make it look as beautiful as always. So that was really cool to see the work that they did in rebuilding their Masonic building. What is my preference in Masonic halls aesthetically? I don't have a unique preference. What I would say is the aesthetics of a Masonic building, in my opinion, the outside and the inside should be consistent. So, for example, if I'm going to the Detroit Masonic Temple, I'm expecting some pretty grand lodge rooms. I'm expecting to see lodge rooms that are pretty ornate based on the size of the buildings. Based on the size of the building and the way it looks and the time it was built. By the same token, if I'm going to a small town Masonic building, maybe it's in a farmhouse in like rural Michigan, I expect a more simple lodge room. So I guess consistency between the facade and the interior is kind of what I prefer. Beyond that, every Masonic building is beautiful in its own way. So, but when you talk about the aesthetics of a building, you have to keep in mind heritage designations. When was it built? Is it under some type of heritage requirement? I mean, all that stuff is really, really important to keep in mind and think about. So, do not forget about that stuff. Like many Masonic buildings, especially those built in, let's say, the 1920s, during the great boom period of Freemasonry, are going to be under Masonic, are going to be under heritage designations. And also there may be requirements in your particular jurisdiction as to what you can and cannot do in a lodge room, what you can and cannot place in a lodge room, the manner in which you decorate the lodge room. So you have to keep those aesthetic considerations in mind as well, which are equally as important. All right, I think what I'm going to do I agree with that, Rondo, 100%, 1000%. Each type does serve a purpose. I'm not one who has like a preference as grand versus simple. What I will say though is whatever building you have, I think you need to do as much as you can to preserve it for as long as you can. And if it does end up unfortunately getting sold, I hope that it's sold to somebody who preserves it as much as possible, at least the facade, and lets people know. Like maybe you sell it and it becomes a restaurant. Let people know that, this restaurant was formerly a Masonic building, and here are some of the Masonic elements and features within it. Like I wish Jimmy Kimmel would talk more about the fact that his studio is a Masonic building. Just let people know. Yeah, that's really unfortunate when that happens. Take care of your buildings as best you can. And if you do sell it, try to sell it to someone who will be respectful of it. Sometimes you're lucky enough to have a Masonic building in a place where there's very strict heritage requirements and building codes. So they can't just do anything they want with it. They have to maintain the facade or maintain the initial heritage structure or whatever it might be. And that, I think, is really valuable and really helpful. But it really does just depend on where you're at, unfortunately, for better or worse. Yeah, I assume that's what you meant. That happens in Chicago South Side, the South Side. That has happened, unfortunately, in a few locations, Alabama. But there have been actually some groups, I think one was in Alabama actually, that fought to try to protect and preserve these Masonic buildings. So that sometimes fall into disrepair, get abandoned, whatever it might be. So nothing but credit and respect to them. Friday is typo day. I hear you 100%. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this stream off to give me a chance to get something ready. But then check us out. Keep paying attention because later on today, maybe around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll do another live stream from the Glenvirw Masonic Temple, just showing off the facade, showing off the building. Maybe I'll do some live streams in and around Glenvirw, places that I love here in Glenvirw. So I will let you guys know about that. Sorry for my late stream today, but I've been busy hanging out in beautiful Glenvirw, Illinois. Had a couple of great meetings this morning, a couple of great events, and I'm going to have a few more this afternoon. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Hope you hit the like and subscribe button. This has been a really fun Ask Us Anything live stream. More to come in the coming days. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See y'all soon.